Hey everyone, it's Shelby here. Welcome back to A Little Literary Love. I'm glad you're all with me today because I have another recommendations video for you all. Since it is Father's Day, I wanted to do something along the lines talking about like dads. Last year I did single dad romances. This year I'm doing something I don't see a lot of, but it's become one of my like favorite tropes to read about in romances. And I like to dub that um, your dad can do it better. So a lot of times this ends up playing out as like an ex-boyfriend's dad romance. I have several of those in this list, but that's not always the case. It's usually where our female main character is dating somebody and then decides that they like that person's dad is their end game and they'd rather be with the dad instead. So, the dads can do it better kind of trope. I love this. It's one of my favorites to read about in romances. So I have several books to talk about on here. However, I do just want to say I do have a spoilery one at the end that I will put up like a spoiler banner for if you want to skip that one because it does kind of ruin some stuff. Like plot that happens in the story, but it does fit for this whole trope. Also, I believe all of the authors that I have in this list are white authors. I was trying to find some books by marginalized BIPOC authors that do this, but it's hard for me to search for this trope when it's not always necessarily like an ex-boyfriend's dad. So if you have any recommendations for books that fit within this like little trope that I have here, please leave them down below. Or if you have any like queer ones that fit for this trope, I would love to read more about this. So I greatly appreciate it. Also, so again, before we get into all of these books, please, if you like this video, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button and also subscribing if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. I post videos every Thursday and Sunday, so you can hit that notification bell to be notified for when I do post new videos. And like I said, I'm glad you all are here and helping me to grow this channel. I appreciate it so much. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it and talking about all of these books, and I love all of these. They're so good. So, first up, what basically like gave me the idea like to dub this "Your Dad Can Do It Better" is based off of this book, "Your Dad Will Do" by Katie Robert. This is part of a series that Katie Robert did, but they're all standalones, more like novella length books. So they're really quick, very little plot to them. It's mostly sexy fun times. This one is about our female main character is wanting to get revenge on her ex-fiance, whom I believe cheated on her, but I could be wrong on that. By seducing her ex-fiance's dad and then like throwing it in his face. But the dad has had a thing for her. And so then they kind of start a romance, but like I said, this is mostly sexy fun times that takes place like over a weekend, I think. Very quick, very steamy, great fun time. And then we have the OG in the romance community, Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. This is a classic for a reason. This is what introduced me to the world of age gap romance. I love this book. This one is about our female main character and her boyfriend. They end up getting kicked out of their apartment because her boyfriend has not really been like paying things. So they have nowhere to go and they end up moving in with her boyfriend's dad for the time being until they can kind of get their stuff figured out. And she ends up running into his dad more often than she's with her boyfriend because her boyfriend is kind of a lazy a-hole. And she finds that she actually has more in common with his dad. So there's some close calls for like cheating in this one, but the characters, she does end up breaking up with her boyfriend before her and the dad officially get together. This is a slow burn romance, and it's wonderful. I love it. Then we have The Doctor by Nikki Sloan. Nikki Sloan is also a very high steam, sexy time author. This one is, I believe, the first book of the Nashville Neighborhood series, which is a series of, it's all standalone, so you can read whatever book in whatever order you want to. This one is our female main character and her boyfriend, but she has also thought that her boyfriend's dad is very attractive. He's also thought that she's really attractive. And kind of similar to the last recommendation, he's not a great boyfriend to her, doesn't really pay attention to her. So she breaks up with him, but he just kind of like brushes it off, doesn't pay attention to her when she's breaking up with him. And the dad happens to be there. And then they fall in bed together. So ends up being their romance. Then, of course, we have Praise by Sarah Kate. I love Sarah Kate so much. Another very steamy author, especially with this one, because this features a sex club and BDSM. If you haven't read this book, which, I mean, if you haven't, where have you been? So this one's our female main character. She ends up getting a job as a secretary / service sub for her ex-boyfriend's dad, and gets introduced to the world of BDSM. Starts off as like a non-sexual agreement, but then of course she wants to add in the sexual component to it. So they then form a relationship. And it's just such a great start to this series. It's a great intro to Sarah Kate. It's fabulous. I love it. Then I have Mafia Mistress by Mila Finelli. This is a mafia romance. This one does end on a cliffhanger, so you do have to read. So you're kind of getting 2 books with this one. The second book, which I think is Mafia Darling. There's 5 books in this series, but the first 2 books are like an overarching like arc story plot, and then the other books in the series are about other characters in this world. So this one, our female main character, she's in the world of the mafia, and so she's in an arranged marriage to the son of this, like the boss, like the mafia boss in this Italian area. I don't know why you said Italy area. So she's in this arranged marriage with him, but she likes the boss, the king, so to speak, of the mafia regime. So like this one, she's not necessarily in a relationship with her betrothed. They actually end up becoming more like friends instead of like lovers. But I still feel like it counts for this one because she's supposed to be with his son, but she's got the hots for the dad instead. Then we have Charming Your Dad by Sarah Blue. This one is sort of similar to the Your Dad Will Do book because it features a revenge plot. This one is about our female main character, and she is wanting to get revenge on her ex-boyfriend. She is a witch, and she's planning on bewitching his dad, but the dad like works for the King of Hell. There's lots of other magical-y stuff going on in this one. It's fabulous. It's such a good time. I loved it. Then we have Kissed and Missed by Cleo White. This is the second book in her Daddy Issue series. All of these, again, are standalone, so you could read this one without having read the other ones. This one is another one that's novella length, so it's really quick to get through. This one, the whole series is great. All features age gap romances. This one is, our female main character is on her way to her girlfriend's dad's house to spend the holidays with her girlfriend and her girlfriend's dad. And as she's on her way there, she finds out that her girlfriend has cheated on her. So this makes for a very awkward situation. The girlfriend decided that she's not coming now to her dad's house. So she's just like going now to her all of a sudden, ex-girlfriend's dad's house. And they're spending the holiday together. And of course, then they end up parting ways, but they continue to think about each other and continue to pine after one another until the dad finally decides, like, I've had enough. I'm going to make her mine. And it becomes a romance. And it's very good. All the books in this series are fantastic. Then we have Mark and Don't Tell by Rory Miles. This is the second book of a series. Again, this can be read as a standalone. You do not have to read the first book to read this one. This is an Omegaverse story. So this one features our female main character is an Omega, and she's always wanted to find her pack and be cared for and find her alphas, but she's been very unlucky in love. Her boyfriends that she's had in the past just did not really treat her all that well. So she's kind of like done at the very beginning of the story of finding her pack. And then lo and behold, her company that she works for like this marketing company, is making a bid for this to be the marketing company for this sex toy company. And so they're meeting the owners of this company. There's these two alphas that are owners, and she's in this meeting room and she discovers that they are her scent matches. So that's kind of like in the world of Omegaverse, that's similar to like fated mates, basically. It's very hard to ignore a scent match, and they want to court her. She also, somewhere else while she's trying out some of the products, she ends up meeting a beta who is also part of this pack, and she ends up falling for them. They treat her wonderfully, but she also finds out that they are her ex-boyfriend's dads. So it's wonderful. I adored this story. So this next one, I'm going to put this in here, but just know I have not actually finished this book yet. I'm currently reading this one. I am like 60% through, and I've been really enjoying it. So unless something happens in the last 40% of this book to make me hate this book, I'm going to end up giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, and that's going to be Chasing the Wild by Elliot Rose. This one has blown up. This has been very popular recently, especially because cowboys are very popular right now. So this does feature a cowboy. And it has a lot of other tropes in this one that I adore. This one is now actually getting picked up for trade publishing, which is wonderful for this author. So this one, our female main character, her ex-boyfriend, she finds out, took a loan out in her name, and now she owes a bunch of money because this company cannot find him. So she goes to the address that he has given her of like where he's going to be staying. Turns out that address is his father's house, and he's not really around all that much at this house. So she goes there to demand him to pay off this loan because she can't afford to pay it. And then she ends up getting snowed in because his ranch that he owns is on like this mountain, and the snow has like completely covered up all the roads. So she can't leave. And she is trying to become a vet. So he offers her a job to help him out on the ranch while they're snowed in together to help take care of his animals, while they wait for his son to return once the snow clears. And it's been really good. So it's got like that forced proximity. There's an age gap. He's a cowboy. He's like really rough and gruff. He's dominant. And it's, that whole, your dad will do it better. So I really am enjoying it. I'm just going to say I would recommend it. Like I said, unless something really like awful happens that makes me hate this book, it's been wonderful. So those are the non-spoilery books. I'm gonna, like, if you've made it here and don't want to watch me talk about the spoilery book, thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Like I said, leave comments down below about some of your books that would fit for this trope, because I love it so much and I need more. Okay. So if you're continuing on, the spoilery book that I have for you all is Gravity by Sarah Kate. This one is our female main character ends up getting hired by the dad to be a companion for his son because his son is very depressed. And brings her to this remote island that they live on. And of course, she also pines after the dad. So that's why this one is kind of spoilery, because it does feature like a love triangle of sorts. So if it fits in this trope video, because she ends up getting with the dad at the end. But I loved this one. This is another great Sarah Kate book. I love Sarah Kate. She's fabulous. So that is going to be it for all of my recommendations for this video. Thank you all for watching. I love having you all here and interacting with you all. It's been great. But that is going to be it, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.